Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's Cinema Sunday, grab a cold one, yeah, tune into Gorillas, everybody's there. Big screen flicks, lights turning down, kick back, let's get lost in sound. Cinema Sunday, feel that southern groove, movies and laughter with a laid-back mood. Friends in the chat, we're here to stay, on Gorillas Land of Thoughts, it's our kind of day. In your worn out jeans with the lights down low, Gorillas got the flicks, just press play, let's go. Every frame's a story, every song's a beat, feels like home with southern heat. Cinema Sunday, feel that southern groove, movies and laughter with a laid-back mood. Friends in the chat, we're here to stay, on Gorillas Land of Thoughts, it's our kind of day. In your worn out jeans with the lights down low.
Oops, that's the wrong song. But anyhow, I had to click the one right below it. Said people were like, what the hell's going on here? Did I
was gonna say, I just rolled with it.
5 days?
It's only Tuesday. It's not like it's not Sunday yet.
Yeah, but if you people might think it's Sunday. You blacked out for 5 days.
Yeah, they might get confused.
Oh shoot! I swore in the first 5 minutes there. Damn it! There goes my monetization.
You know what? Lemon just called it something different, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, we're doing good. I mean, well, it's 83 degrees outside, and the humidex is up to 50. But yeah, you know, we're gonna have rain the next 2 days.
Hey,
I hope.
Come back to me when it's 97 with a 95% humidity, and it feels like it's 115 out. Then we'll talk about hot.
That only happens in Oklahoma, Gorilla. I went through that already.
I just had that last week.
I've been there, done that.
No, give me that. That only happens.
Even, dude. Seriously, I've been through it. I went through it. Come on.
Yeah, well,
I'm still not a traveler. I've been through more than you have, I'm sure, Gorilla.
Yeah, well, I'm still alive and kicking, and I'm not dead yet myself. And how about you, PvP? Are you still alive and kicking?
Yeah. I actually took the day off from work because I couldn't sleep last night. My insomnia kicked in, and I got about 2 hours sleep.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's the worst.
Well, you know, when you lie in bed, I went to bed early too, so I'm lying in bed for like 10 hours, and I get like 2 hours sleep. That ain't fun. So I just called my boss just before my shift started, and I said, "Hey, boss, I got to move it to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday." And she's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. No worry."
Well,
so that was good. My boss is really good that way. So, but I just hope I can frickin' sleep tonight. Because if I can't sleep tonight, I'm cooked. So,
well, I know how to fix insomnia perfectly. Chloroform.
So where did you get that T-shirt from, Gorilla?
I don't have any of that handy, but I do have some alcohol on the desk here, so I was thinking I'll hit some of that, and usually if I drink enough of that, I'll pass out anyway. So that should probably work.
Well, I was going to suggest, or just take a sleeping pill, but then sleeping pills and alcohol do not mix well.
I don't have sleep. I don't have sleeping pills anyway, and you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What were we saying, Mikey?
Well, I was saying with your T-shirt. So it says too much like to live and too much beep. Too few beeps to what? What is the ending word there?
To give.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Give. Okay. But
yeah, I got a Cooper Allen concert. But let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat. FKHC 2005 said episode 69 is going to be nice. Then STF is Star Trek Destiny. It's actually a really good Borg origin story, and it's the Borg are actually attempting to exterminate the Alpha Quadrant. I don't know if that falls under the controversial topics that were in YouTube's guidelines that they suggest.
Well, I will say this: by saying that word, Gorilla, you probably got demonetized.
Oh, I was demonetized before I even started. Yeah, he said, "Sorry, WTF."
Yeah, we knew what he was saying.
And you got supper in the oven, and you're asking what's for supper.
Meat pie.
And welcome, Old Bad Bird says, "I would read to Paul's, let's just say her assets."
Like they're written in Braille, you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, you would absolutely in Vulcan, Eugene.
Yeah, we all like a Vulcan with some nice assets.
Uh-huh. God, you guys are horn dogs. You need to get married. You need to find some people.
Hey, I didn't say it. I'm just reading what my fellow chatters have put in there. I like to read their chat. And you'll be on supper.
Oh crap!
And hey, Scurry has called us the Silverbacks.
Yeah, so it's Gorilla and the Silverbacks. We got a band now. I call them Hey Sir Lemon Fruit Pie.
And saying hello to everybody. Scurvy, you want to read, or PB, you want to read Scurvy's comment?
PB said, "Boss, I was up all night fantasizing about you. I got to take the day off." Well, you know, I have done that in the past as well.
Yeah. And Scurvy says,
"Lady Boss." Yeah.
And Scurvy says, "Feeling to Paul would only be logical."
No. You what Trip did with Paul. That would be logical.
And I'll just come out and say this will be a little inappropriate, but I'll just ask since PVT does have the dirty mind for it. Tell me, whenever you dreamed up about your boss, and she ever was going to ask if you told her that, am I wearing underwear?
Well, I don't remember thinking anything like that.
Hey, that's private. That's a private dream, okay? Let him think what he will, but it's got to be private. Mr. Bird.
Oh, hey there.
Hey.
Now let's see how far you can go on with the term pie.
So I'm dedicating this episode to Michaela Raines, who was unfortunately passed at the age of 29, around Sif Dan's age, which is weird. Yeah. She shouldn't have been passed, but hey, we'll dedicate this to you, Michaela. Rest in peace.
So, I didn't really have a topic set up tonight because apparently there was a ceasefire with Iran, but someone violated it, then another person violated it, and just went all the hell. Apparently, I didn't read much on it. All I just know is
well, I just saw a news article where they found out that he didn't bomb as much as they said he did. And there's still some evidence showing that some of the buildings that he supposedly nuked with his bombers are still standing, enough to make enough uranium.
If you want to get closer to the facts than I see them, I have put the 2C TV link at the top of the private, and Gorilla probably can't play that, but once you get about 10 minutes in is when it gets interesting, because he talks about how Iran's nuclear facilities are all basically safe because they transferred like 900 pounds of enriched plutonium or whatever to those other sites that are well hidden and unknown to their locations by any Western governments. So Israel and the U.S. bombed the shit out of the 3 plants that they knew about, but apparently there was nothing there to bomb, because the Iranians had already moved all the important stuff out. And 10 minutes into the 2C's stream about that, he even shows the Iranians when they're working on their stuff, and he's like, yeah, there was apparently a leak memo from the U.S. that was about how these all these enriched materials had been moved previously before the bombings even started. So
WikiLeaks? Was it
the,
WikiLeaks?
no, it was the U.S. government. It was the U.S.
Oh,
government.
but they leaked it. Okay.
It
I
was
thought
leaked. It was
WikiLeaks.
leaked by them, and apparently, it makes me wonder: was Trump just talking out of his backside, like saying they destroyed all the nuclear sites? Because obviously the nuclear program is still up and running, and from what he was saying on his channel, they could be back in operation in about 3 months, working on another bomb. So the idea of a ceasefire is insane. If you look at some of the stuff in the Quran, it's like one of the things that their religion says is honorable is to lie to your enemy's face in order to have victory over them.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere. I remember reading it once.
Well,
so this is a religion you cannot trust. This religion. I don't trust the leaders of the regime in Iran because I'm sure they go by that code of conduct. And let's face it, I don't know how many dozens of times there's been a ceasefire, and every time there's a ceasefire, the Iranians or Hamas or whatever group you want to talk about, after a year or whatever, they come back, they rebuild their forces, come back in full strength and attack Israel again. And it's happened over and over and over again. And I just think, is Trump that naive that he's buying into this? Because you can't believe what the Iranian government says. Simple as that.
Hey, Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne. Well,
and hey, Daniels, how's it going?
Well, PvP, I would do a little, not all out pushback, but a little pushback. Trump, his hands are somewhat tied a little bit because if he wants to keep his so-called promises of what he did in the election cycle to make him president, he can't go into foreign wars or start foreign wars because he promised to keep America out of wars or America first. Well, my point is that
he can't declare war. He cannot declare war. He can only do limited military operations. In order for war to be declared, Congress has to declare it.
Yeah. But my point is that what PvP is trying to get at, probably, and what Trump's base will not like at all, is that PvP says we should do all-out war to a certain extent against Iran, like just bomb the hell out of them.
No. I did not say the U.S. should do all-out war. What I said was I think Trump was misguided, trusting what the Iranian government said, that they were willing to negotiate. And this is negotiate. This isn't a peace treaty. This is negotiating a ceasefire. That's a big difference than signing a peace treaty with Israel. Big difference. They said they were willing to negotiate. They didn't say they'd negotiate in good faith. They didn't say they would negotiate in an honest, straightforward manner. They never promised any of that kind of thing. So I think Trump was playing to his base. I think he was definitely playing to his base to look like the strong man. But I think he miscalculated. I think he badly miscalculated, and to a lot of us, he looks like he made some serious errors with those moves. And I think it makes him look a bit unstable in a way. Like it's like, I don't know where this guy's going next because he seems to be all over the map. It's just like when he interfered with our elections up here in Canada, and we got the worst government in history now.
Yeah, but every country interferes with everybody else's elections.
Yeah, but the America's never interfered like he did. They've never interfered to that degree.
Yeah, and PvP, I would tell you this to a certain extent. You may agree with me or disagree with this with me with this, but Trump is playing the game of politics, international politics, both with his base and with Iran and the international stage. He's trying to appease both parties, but he knows he won't be able to appease both parties. He has to try to find, well, you may find this compromise a weak compromise by Israel and Iran doing a ceasefire. And another thing is that the Iranian regime or this certain religion only responds to force. If you don't have the force to back up your claims or your treaties or your ceasefires, they will take every opportunity to rebuild and strike back even harder. That's the problem with this religion. You have to use force.
Well,
to enforce things.
That's why I say there never should have been the concept of ceasefire with the Iranian regime is just ludicrous. The regime is on its knees. They've been taken out. I watched another one of Tusi's live streams today, and he said a couple of their top military leaders had been assassinated by the Israelis today. They've been eliminated. So their regime is getting weaker and weaker and weaker by the day. They're taking a lot of the top, the important people that actually know how to run things. I don't know who's going to take their place, but I'm willing to bet they're not as well trained as the people that have been eliminated by now. So this is time to finish it. This is time to finish it once and for all. To take it out and to let the Iranian people have the Iranian people have been enslaved for 47 years now. It sickens me because they used to be a proud, free people, and I want them to be free again.
Hey, welcome to the panel, Suzanne.
Hello, Suzanne.
Here's a thought. How about Trump mind his own damn business and stay in his own lane? This has nothing to do with you Americans. Stay out of it. This is between Israel and Iran, and Israel will finish their business. It's simple.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Trump needs to stay in his own lane and mind his own damn business.
I agree. I think it would be better if he did, Suzanne. I agree with you.
Israel don't want your help.
I totally agree. You see, Trump's deal should be really concentrating on domestic problems. He's got people that can handle foreign policy, apparently, he says. So let them deal with it. Let him handle the more domestic problems. Same thing with Carney. Carney's a jerk off. He's not dealing with anything here domestically. Why don't you just, get to the program and, start helping the Canadian people, and Trump help the American people, There's too many homeless on the streets.
I heard something today that some of the Iranian government that wants to defect and get the hell out of there before they're killed. They actually asked Canada to take them in as refugees, and Carney said, "Okay." Yeah, he said yes. He wants to bring terrorists into our country. That's how Carney's
he offered.
Well, I've seen the video. There was about a 10-minute video. He was at the Islamic conference, and he gave a speech there. And he went on this rambling, crazy speech about how Islamic values, Muslim values are Canadian values. And it's like, no, they're not. Canada's a Christian-based country. Canada's founded on Christianity. It has nothing to do with Muslim values. Right. Carney will kiss everybody's ass just to get a couple of votes, is what I'm saying when he talks that shit. Right? It's just crazy. The man's crazy. I can't stand him. I mean, I hate the word. I don't like using evil as a word, but in Carney's case, I will, because I think he's a very bad man.
Yeah, and JP does make a valid point, even though we may disagree with him on major stances on the certain side of the aisle.
Yeah. Here, let's catch up on chats real quick.
Sounds good.
Boomer says, speaking of big soapy boobs, I'm running Cool Hand Luke tomorrow night. Okay, I never even heard of that movie.
That's the one with, isn't that got Paul Newman in it?
Yeah. Does that mean we still have a failure to communicate, Boomer brother? That's the line. Somehow we have a failure to communicate.
Oh.
Yeah. He picked up on that right away. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, it's a good movie. It really is. And they have those tunnels named Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Okay. And Boomer says always. And there's a lot of face saving going on in back channel communications. They had a chance to move some stuff out. We had a chance to move stuff out of our base before they took their shot at it.
Yeah, that was pretty bold trying to attack Qatar. I
think we have a lot of interceptors all over the Middle East.
Well, didn't you hear about how the Iranians didn't they bomb some Syrian sites too. Did they take out a mosque in Syria or something?
I never
Um,
heard that.
Um,
I did see a video about that somewhere.
well, that may be a misinformation video, unless it did say Syria. But I think you may be thinking about where the Iranians launched a few counter missiles in the Qatar on the U.S. base right there, where the U.S. is basing our Fifth Fleet headquarters is at.
I know there was also a Christian church that they hit, and it was in a Muslim country. I'm not sure if it was Syria, but it was one of those. Maybe it was. I don't know if it was maybe the United Emirates or something, but they did attack another country. I think they attacked a couple of different countries over the last week, which is crazy. I mean, they're just.
No.
To me, that's a sign that when a regime's lashing out on its death throes, they just start attacking everybody. Because I know Syria has been back in Israel in this. In fact, I heard today on a video that Israel is in negotiations with Syria to normalize relations with each other, which would be a really positive move, I think, if they do that.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say welcome, August. There, I'll get your chats here in a little bit. See, the Iranian regime funds all the local terrorist organizations in the Middle East and abroad. Yeah,
I think we all knew that, JPs. Yeah.
That's why you got to cut the head off with a snake.
Yeah. And I said hello to Suzanne. I hope your family's doing all right and that you and your grandson are totally out of the fire danger.
Yeah, sorry to hear. I heard there was some issues, Suzanne, but I didn't get any specifics on that. So I hope everything's working out there.
We are out of the fire danger. There's no more fire.
Good.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, very good thing. And there you are.
And welcome on my screen, guys. Well welcome, August. The Americans cannot stay out when they have interests on both the Middle East and Israel as an ally.
Yeah, oil's the key. Oil is the key. That's why.
Well, yeah, we said a lot of
what? Canada's got people there too, JPs, and you don't see us jumping up and down and swearing all over the place.
Well, the thing is, there are things Trump can do in the background to support Israel privately, right? He doesn't have to send in bombers necessarily.
He can also just shut up.
Well, the thing is, when he brags about how he solved something and says he's the great man that's negotiated a truce, it's like a truce ain't going to hold. It never holds. It's never holded for like. I don't know how many, 60 years at least. Every truce has always failed. So look at.
Don't get me wrong, I love Trump,
history,
okay?
right?
But he's a complete jackass on this one. Mind your business. Stay in your own lane. Israel has its own issues. They will deal with it. They're not asking for your help. Israel will take care of this. I have no doubts. They will turn Iran into a litter box.
Israel is a very powerful nation for the size and their population. They are like a mighty mouse, right? They're like the mouse. They're like the mouse that kicked elephants' asses. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but PvP, Suzanne has a really good point. Israel is more than strong enough to take care of their business, and if they need to go ahead and plow under the entire country, including Tehran, they'll do it. They don't care.
I just want to see the Iranian people get their freedom back. That's the main thing I want to see.
Yeah, but there's going to be casualties in war. You know this, and it's sad. But well, let me finish. It's sad because it is involving children and females and and seniors and so on and families that have nothing to do with it, but yet their government, which is so corrupt, is going to use them as cannon fodder and and collateral damage. That's the unfortunate thing. So
human shields is what they are.
Yeah.
We all know how great the U.S. Army is. Okay, the U.S. military. They're a force to fuck around. Don't mess around. We know this. But you know what? I'll put one IDF soldier up against 20 Americans any day. I'm not worried about Israel taking their business.
Well, that's why, Suzanne, that's why they still use Canadian peacekeepers to this day. They're in the front line of the NATO or whatever protectorate, that's
because Canadians can't fight their way out of a paper bag. Come on, Mikey. That's why we're
Nice.
peacekeepers.
Well, the Canadian peacekeepers maybe years ago, like with the Rwanda genocide, under what was his general's name? I forget his name, but they did some actual good there. They actually saved quite a few thousand people by taking them into the Canadian compound and giving them refuge, while other people were being hacked to death with machetes, right? So back then, the NATO peacekeeping meant something. I don't think it means a damn thing anymore, because I don't think NATO, from what I've heard, NATO has not criticized Iran in this at all.
NATO is a joke.
NATO's they're a joke, Suzanne. Just an absolute joke.
You're right about that.
I do have a question. I mean, you guys probably talked about this in the other cigar lounge, but even if the current Iranian regime falls, what's going to replace it? Because you have to sort of remember. Well, I'm trying to be a realist here, but for the past 40 or so years, Iran has been under a religious fanatical government, and people and their citizenry has been influenced to a certain extent on. That's the only form of government they know of, and they may love it or hate it. But then, what's the alternative? Is that with people that have grown up with that all their lives? Then, what's the alternative?
Well, from what I've heard, the Shah actually gave a speech the other day about his plans to come back to Iran to lead a transitional government to I guess probably more a democratic elected government eventually. He was happy to come back and offer his help as a transitional leader in between, during the transition power, right? I don't know if I saved that video or not, but it was a pretty good video, because he actually sounded like a leader, like an actual leader.
Let's get these chats caught up here. JP says, of course, Cardi said yes. The news are telling us crap anyway. That's why I go with independent news sources instead of the mainstream media.
Same here.
Mainstream media are nothing but liars.
Yeah, oil's the key, JPs. That's all about oil.
Why the hell not Trudeau did?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know half as much about the whole thing like they do. Oh yeah, because it's all classified. Oh my God, how did you ever see Cool Hand Luke?
He's yelling at you. It should be a movie you do on a Cinema Sunday there, Gorilla. Since you've never seen it.
Boomer's doing it tomorrow, so.
Oh,
or do you guys like us regular folks know more than Trump?
Yes.
And Trump's not deciding at all. The deciders we don't know.
We'll have to ask
Suzanne and I said it at the same time. Yes.
Yeah. And who are the USA's allies? Well, supposedly NATO, and we got the Pacific Partnership, and then Israel's like we're good terms with Israel in the Middle East, somewhat good terms with the Arabian Peninsula. I don't know where the hell India stands.
Yeah.
And India is more. Well, they play both sides of this geopolitical game. In theory, they're an ally of the U.S. to a certain extent, but their main ally and backer, I think, is Russia, since they're close allies with Russia.
Yeah, but even Russia's not getting involved. But they're too busy with Ukraine. Let's see. Canada can't do anything because they're too busy letting in damn terrorists to give them. That's what we were last time. Their last president. Good question. USA allies.
That's a toss-up.
And JP says Israel is only strong due to U.S. support.
We just lost Susan.
NATO is a joke. Well, in what sense? Well, till we threatened to back out, only like 4 countries were meeting the actual requirement of the 2% there? And all of a sudden said, fuck it, we're going to just leave. Then all of a sudden, boom, all of a sudden everybody started
welcome back, Suzanne.
Money for the 2%.
Damn PvP.
Well, I'll tell you how NATO's a joke. They stand up for the bad guys in the world by crapping all over Western countries a lot of the time. They don't
NATO
support.
NATO is supposed to be the Western. Is Western Europe or is all
Yeah,
Europe?
they seem to love sticking up for places like Iran. They don't have, they never seem to criticize them, no matter what
No
the hell they
PvP.
do.
No PvP. I thought that they were supposed to stand up for the citizenry, not the government.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's so much corruption. So much corruption at the UN. I don't really.
Granted, but I mean
I didn't.
that's what NATO peacekeeping means is that they're trying to keep the peace, and if you can keep
Yeah,
the
but
peace
they
with
don't.
the
I
citizens,
don't think they're effective anymore. I don't think there's the will. I mean,
okay.
what
Well,
okay,
I mean,
name me the last 2 or 3 missions in the world where NATO peacekeepers have kept peace.
Yeah, no.
yeah,
I have one for JP's. JP's, you think the Canadian government is all about letting them in and helping them out? You have no idea, my friend. They gave $83 million.
yeah.
I'm sorry, $83 billion to the
Billion
UN.
dollars.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
to the UN the other day.
I feel like Dr. Evil every day. It's like
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah. And August says maybe it's all just a show to frighten us that makes us weak for them to move us how they want. Not quite sure what you're getting at on that.
Yeah.
Let's see, the IDF is so dependent on U.S. military machines. 69% of the IDF arms come from the U.S.
No,
Yeah, by the way, that's the Israeli Defense Force that Gal Gadot actually worked for, the actress. I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
By the way, I just put the Shaw's speech in the bottom of the private chat there for you.
yeah, that's how
All
I
right.
got bounced off.
Yeah. And welcome, Booger. I'm going to get your chats here in a second. So, since NATO is a joke, well, I bet China, Russia instead. So, is the Ukraine strong because of the USA's and Europe's support? That's the reason why they've even lasted this long is of our all our arms shipments.
Well, how many American tax dollars have gone to support the Ukrainian war there, Gorilla?
Well over 300 billion.
There you
So
go.
look how much Canadian has.
Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, same thing. We're sending all kinds of money. And I love how the Liberals want to confiscate honest gun owners' guns in Canada and ship them over to Ukraine.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard they want to do anyway. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it's crazy.
Yeah. JP says the UN is the real joke here. Yeah, considering the UN was developed to stop wars, and I think there's been a war somewhere on the planet every single year since the UN.
Well, ever since 1947, when you had the issues that when Israel first gained their independence, they've had a war on every continent ever since. Skirmishes, doesn't matter what it is.
And
so the UN has been mostly ineffective.
And the thing is, they're called the United Nations. United Nations.
Oh,
how much unity is there? I mean, I don't know how many times I've watched different countries get up with their delegate at the UN and give a speech, and they're all about attacking some other country a lot of the time. Instead of talking about unified anything, they're talking about criticizing this country or that country or whatever. They're criticizing something, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Booger says Israel is always interesting because we are the only ally due to our collective guilt. But as an ally, we are bound to assist when called.
Well, I think the reason that the West should back Israel, and I don't know why countries like Canada don't do more. Well, I know why, because our leader's insane, but it's like Britain, I don't think's done anything. France, of course, Macron, I heard backs the regime in Iran because he's insane too. I would think, but look at it. I mean, for decades, many decades, since at least the '60s with the Six-Day War, uh, Israel has been the only wall of defense. They've been like the firewall to protect the West from the fanatics and the crazies and the zealots that in other parts of the world that would love for all of us to be eradicated. And Israel is one of the few nations that has the stomach and the gunfire to stand up for democracy.
Yeah.
And that's why I support them.
Yeah, just a sec. Welcome C4, and I hope you have a good night. I know you're just swinging by. And welcome Rebel Duster. I'll get to your chats here in a second. Let's see, the UN is a joke anyway. Yes, it's all a joke actually. China and Russians are also insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're insane.
And I wish we would boot the UN out, but Canadians can host them.
I think
No.
I think for the amount of money it costs the world to keep that UN running, I would love to see the UN just disbanded and gone. I really would, because they don't serve a useful purpose as far as I can tell anymore.
I could tell you this much. If Paul Revere had won the election, you don't have a G7 summit in Alberta. Just saying.
The G7 summit was a joke, though. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of it because I knew it would be a farce. And Trump shows up. He's not even there. I don't think he even stayed a complete day because all the crap in the Middle East started happening. So Trump, I think he was there for, I don't know how many hours. And then he flew back to Washington to get a briefing.
He was just there for appearances. I mean, and to say, "Well, yeah, we support you."
The most memorable video I saw at the G7 with Trump was when Carney was standing next to him, and Trump goes into like a 10-minute rant, ripping Trudeau a couple of new ones for being an awful leader, right? And Carney's just standing there next to him, with the mortified look on Carney's face was actually quite enjoyable to watch. And after I think about 7 or 8 minutes, Carney starts, waving his hand gestures to the press to like cut this short because he basically can't deal with any more of it. And Trump is just ripping into Trudeau like something else. It was hilarious, actually. But nothing was accomplished there. Nothing of value was accomplished. Yeah. It never is. G7 is a waste of money.
Yeah, and August says, but as a German, I'm against attacking Russia or so. Wait, Germans against attacking Russia? Just kidding, August. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Gorilla. Come on. There are certain Germans that don't like fighting Russia after they got their noses bloodied. Come on.
Oh, come on. I can make a joke every once in a while. Let's see, the UN is a joker because of the veto rights that each country has. Well, let's see. It's US, UK, France, Russia, and I think China are like the top main 5 on the Security Council, and then the other 5 rotate between all the other countries. But any one of the main 5 can veto something, and then all of a sudden that's just the whole thing's just down the drain.
Yeah, that also was a bad idea. One vote can derail the whole thing. It should be the majority vote, not just one vote. 5 members, it should be 3 votes to veto to not have the event happen, not just one vote, because one vote to veto all of it, that's bullshit. It should be the majority votes.
Yeah. And let's see, August says some people say nuclear weapons don't even exist. Yeah, they're probably the flat earth. Those are probably the same flat earthers. Let's see, Nagasaki, Hiroshima was just phosphorus.
Phosphorus. He's saying phosphorus. They were not just phosphorus bombs. When you're talking about almost 1 million people dead between both cities, yeah, that's not a phosphorus bomb in August.
Have you ever seen the watch the movies of the aftermath with the victims with their skins peeling off when they're slowly dying of radiation burns? It ain't pretty.
Yeah, Nagasaki and Hiroshima were just fiery but mostly peaceful riots. That's all they were.
Well,
the thing is, weren't.
The thing is, of course, if there's no nuclear bombs, then of course the Earth is flat. After all, let's face it, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah, we got dinosaurs living underneath the crust.
Oh, and Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing, did he not?
Yes, of course he did.
Yes.
We all know this. Room 227 is where he came up with it.
Yeah, let's see. They have mandatory service. Galactica Gadot was in as was Dr. Ruth. Yeah,
you're comparing Gal Gadot to Battlestar Galactica. Come on, Booger.
No, IDF has mandatory service.
Yeah. Dr. Ruth was down here for good killing. Yeah.
Rebel Duster says nukes are a psyop.
Oh, jeez. Rebel Duster.
Oh, Booger here says it's back. He told me my stream went down. But it's back. Hello, everyone. Think this is going to turn out well? You haven't been paying attention or to war. What's going to happen when they start the draft? We're severely undermanned. We're fucked. We fucked. Now, I don't think I'll get that far. I seriously don't think I'll get that far.
No, and Gorilla's got an excuse. He doesn't have to be drafted.
Well, actually, Carney has mentioned the last few months about initiating a draft for to send Canadians to fight in Ukraine.
Hey, PvP, we're too old for it. Okay,
I'm not worried
right now.
But if I tell you, if all the millions of Looney Tunes that voted Liberal in the last election a few months ago start seeing their 20-something sons get shipped off to Ukraine as cannon fodder, I wonder what's going to happen then, eh?
Yeah.
Do you think there might be a little bit of a criticism of Carney at that point if that happens?
I also think there might be a repulsion of Carney, and maybe Polivera will lead the way and say, "Hey, get the frick out of Dallas or out of wherever," and you know.
Well, unfortunately, the Conservatives don't have the numbers to
get the hell out of Ottawa. Damn you!
The thing is, Pierre doesn't even have a seat right now because there was so much tomfoolery going around when they got in his riding.
No, Pierre does have a seat technically. The person who is one of the representatives in Alberta actually got him a seat. So
no. That's technically wrong. The fellow in Alberta, which is a relatively safe riding for the Conservatives, stepped down some time ago. But the by-election, Carney, the Prime Minister, has to call the date for the by-election in Alberta, and he has not done that yet, of course. So
because he doesn't want Pierre in there. Okay.
Well, of course, because Pierre will talk circles around him and grind him into the mud in 30 seconds, with his oratory. And Carney knows this, of course, because Carney couldn't inspire you to buy a loaf of bread. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
He's that boring.
Go ahead,
JP says sending money for assistance to the Ukraine is a good thing. Anything to keep Putin in check. Yeah, but we got a lot of. We're so far in debt right now, we can't afford it. There's the problem.
I personally think you should let Ukraine and Russia figure it out on their own.
Yep.
I don't want Canada to get involved. The last thing I want is it's not our war. It has nothing to do with us. It's like when Carney says he wants to join the European Union. It's like, what the fuck, Carney? We're not in Europe. We don't belong in the European Union. Like, that's how crazy this man is. He's actually made statements like that. It's like I should start compiling a list of all the Looney Tune crap that he has said. And probably by the time he's finally got his ass booted out, it'll be like a mile long. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And August says, what collective guilt you mean, Booger? Probably that we didn't get involved soon enough there to stop the nutcase in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I de-researched it because I thought nukes were real. Wanted to prove it. It's a psyop. The science doesn't substantiate nukes. Impossible. Very effective propaganda, though. Considering we've seen...
I'm not sure where you're getting that information, Rebel Duster. I really am not sure.
Considering we've seen countless videos of them testing them all over the world. And I'm pretty sure the people of Bikini Atoll will make it different. I'm pretty sure the people here on stream
Yeah.
Nagasaki
those,
will
Yeah.
those hydrogen bombs they detonated as a demonstration. I mean, you're meaning to
And,
tell me those were just big, huge ass smoke bombs that took
and
out an
people,
entire
Well-
and people used to
Come
go
on
out
now.
out 70 miles north of Vegas just to watch them test them.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's certain areas of Vegas that are still under radiation protection because of all the things they tested out there, including
Yeah.
Alamogordo, New
Well,
Mexico's bomb.
Wasn't there that John Wayne film that they shot right there when they were doing the bombs?
Yes.
And I can't
They were
remember the title of the
They were
film.
shooting the Genghis Khan film.
And everybody, I
Conqueror.
believe everybody that starred in that was there at the time all died of cancer eventually.
They all died. Yeah.
And let's see. We're and yeah, so then we're talking about that that happened in World War II.
Yeah.
Just we said goodnight to Cam here. Yes, but
Yeah.
he's American or isn't he? I think Carney. No, he's British.
Irish.
Same difference.
Yeah, he's
Depends on
part
what.
British.
You hold how many
You're pretty-
passports, Mikey? 4?
What's his name? I'm sorry.
Carney holds what? 4 passports?
4, yeah. And I think he's trying for a 5th one.
Yeah, but if he's Irish, there's a pretty good chance he has some English blood in him.
More than likely.
Oh yeah, he's English and Irish because he holds
Yeah.
passports to England, to Ireland, and there's some others.
Canada, obviously. Yeah. America, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Palestine at the UN play the eternal victim anytime they take the floor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but JPs are not the only one. The 2 countries we're seeming to forget here, India and Pakistan. Pakistan pulls the same bullshit. Okay, they do the same thing. Oh, we're the victim. Oh, India shot a missile into our country. We should retaliate, but we're too undermanned and too sterile to retaliate.
Yeah.
And it's all the same bullshit, JPs. It really is.
Let's see. Yeah, no
Really?
such thing as collective guilt towards Israel. Now, there is, in some sense there's a little bit.
well there
And
sure is.
You should have collective guilt to all the black people and all the Native Americans. If you want collective guilt, since it's not your personal fault at all.
Too late,
Freemason.
August. It's already been done.
Yeah. Hey, my people lost the war, so the Dakota War. So, am I demanding reparations? No.
Nope.
Let's see. UN is really outdated,
Yeah, by now it is.
and communism, Satanism—that's what's going on.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're in the MKs. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
the
all
end
in.
days are preceding
They're
August.
preceding August. We're all in now. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that much I do know.
Yeah, could be. Well, the prophecies are prophecies, self-fulfilling ones. You need to force it. Well,
Well, not necessarily.
well,
We don't have
there's
to
one. There's one I've done looked it up a little bit, but I'm still having trouble trying to figure it out. It's one actually out of Israel. It's the red heifer. Like they have to sacrifice a red heifer that has no more than like 10 different color, 10 hairs that are different
Welcome back,
colors
Daniel.
to be on the third. Maybe Suzanne, you can enlighten me on that one.
Chilling.
Yeah. Oh, Suzanne must have stepped away.
Okay.
Do you guys think that modern communication technology has rendered groups like the UN obsolete? Do we need ambassadors carrying out orders via cable now that world leaders can video chat on demand? Well, the problem is now that we have modern communications here, every person has an opinion, can express their opinion, even if they're. But you also got the problem is you got the shills and the bots there also you got to be able to recognize who's the shills and the bots and all this stuff. That's a problem.
Yeah. And
But
Booger,
it's a
the
good
other
point.
thing,
August has
Yeah.
good points.
it is. Yeah, good points. But I wanted to add quickly to that, Booger. As far as communications is concerned, there are still a very small minority of leaders and ambassadors who say it's better to meet with the person face to face and discuss the problem rather than just doing a video chat and saying, "Oh, hey, by the way, here's what's going on." It's more personal, and it also means that you do want to establish and keep hold of a rapport with the ambassador or the leader that you know. That's the best way to say it. I mean, there will be those minority persons that agree to that, but as far as the rest of them, oh yeah, the internet is the end all be all, and that's what they're going to use.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
so,
I think I know how we can solve all these problems around the world. Instead of having just wars there, we just take our UN leaders there, have them walk 50 paces or 20 paces back and forth, have them walk out 20 paces, turn around, and we just have a good old fashioned duel.
yeah.
Yeah, or better yet, watch us do boxing matches between the nation's leaders. Say, okay, here, since you are the representatives of these two nations that are warring here, if you want in the conflict, we'll toss your leaders in the ring and see who wins that boxing match.
That's exactly
I want to battle to the death. I want to battle to the death. That's what I want.
Get the
Do
leaders
you
of
guys
each
know
country.
why? Do you guys know why mankind is the worst and most vicious predator out there?
Please tell us.
I'm guessing it's because of our big brains that think evil thoughts.
Well,
hell no.
Well,
Hell
that
no.
plus,
Hell
Suzanne.
no.
Well, Suzanne.
All right, let's let Suzanne talk.
Yeah, go ahead, Suzanne.
Hell no,
please.
that's not it, PvP. The reason is because we are the only ones in the entire animal kingdom that will sit and eat with its enemy.
Oh yeah.
Well, that too. Plus, we don't have a natural predator to go up against and challenge ourselves. That's why we have ourselves to do that job.
That's true.
Well,
Well, I could have told you that. Have you seen some of these people on freaking Twitter? They would survive on their own.
Well, the thing
Gorilla,
is,
that's why your kind would be the aggressor because you're defending your
oh,
territory.
hey, gorillas are very gentle creatures in nature. They're very kind and
Most,
they love their
most are,
kids.
most are very aggressive, though.
Hey,
Not
remember?
many are.
Oh, I've seen lots of videos where people hang out with gorillas and they're quite mellow.
Because
Actually,
they train them PvP.
no.
There are people that can train gorillas.
Hey.
What do you think? Who do you think Diane Fossey was? A bitch?
Hey,
I think she's a Looney Tune now because she's so far left. It's crazy.
Hey,
gorillas are
PvP. You know why we're gentle around certain people? Just do it. Just give us a little fondle. We'll love anybody.
Okay.
No, man.
I've
I've seen a gorilla rip a baby's head off.
Is that why you're a two-bit whore, gorilla?
I was just going to
Is that
say
what you said before?
I was just going to feed him enough bananas and he'll go docile.
All right. So August here says yes. Kids peel it off with it for phosphor. Well, really,
Hey,
August.
they call that napalm. Okay, napalm.
Oh, I really hope we don't go there. That's one. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. Can there see there are people live on Bikini Atoll?
Not anymore.
Not
Yeah,
anymore.
they kicked them all off.
Yeah. Yeah, they deported them all. They're like, hey, you like your island? Well, fuck off. You're leaving.
It's ours now. You can laugh, but you won't try and prove any of.
Well,
You won't try and prove any of our BS.
I have a rule. I have a rule with people who start to say that everybody's that has a different opinion than them is talking bullshit. That's when I start to kind of lose my patience. Because I don't accuse other people of bullshit. I might disagree with them, but I don't go outright and say, yeah, you're full of bullshit. Just my opinion, by the way, my humble opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's see. If August is German, they are allowed to. It's the law in Germany. Rebel test
I
is
didn't know they
good.
had
Out of the
laws
box
back
thinker
there.
you are, says August. I had a supervisor who said that Antichrist would come from the EU because it was fulfilling the prophecy of 10 nations becoming one.
Well, Mark
Uh,
Carney did run to the Bank of England for about 10 years, so maybe he's right here in our country.
So maybe he's the Antichrist? No,
Could
I don't
be.
think.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past him.
I don't think so.
Well, the same thing can be said about the Soviet Union.
Yeah, we could say the same thing about Putin. How about him being the Antichrist? I wouldn't
I
put it
like
past him.
Putin.
I heard that Elon Musk could be the Antichrist because he's like super smart.
Oh no! I don't think
No,
so.
I don't.
Elon Musk is too tame for it to be an Antichrist.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I think Elon's more about making rockets and doing.
Rockets just don't work.
Well, have you seen the ones that landed safely? Those work pretty well.
Wait a
The
second,
very
rockets
few.
don't work. They don't work.
Yeah, there was one that exploded on his launch pad just recently.
Well, NASA had how many blew up on the launch pad?
Yeah,
Soviet Union had how many blew up on the launch pad?
Yeah, it's like NASA's got a clean record, right, Mikey?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, LTG says he's the Antichrist.
Hey, Pickles.
Oh, crap.
Hey, I'm still divorcing your foot. All that shit is out on the front yard there, LDG. Hey, Scotty.
Oh,
if
shit.
anybody wants to know the reference to that, you'll just have to look at DJ's live stream from earlier. And Rebel's giving us a salute, and what he suggested is no different.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Did you say
sci-fi, the
Carter
law,
here?
which law? You got interrupted by the adverts, by an advert.
Wasn't an advert
You
for
said that your
bananas?
stream got interrupted by an advertisement.
Oh, they put them in the middle of while they're live? Some of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they do. Yeah, they do it to
I
everybody.
did not know that they did it while you're live. I knew they did it.
Yes, while you're
after
live.
after you went. I knew they did them after they took them away after you. They did them like once you're not live anymore. But I didn't know they did it while live.
They
Let's
did
see.
one during.
Booger,
They
yes,
did
it is
one during
picking up
your
traction.
last. Oh, I'm sorry, Suzanne. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just Booger asked the question. He said, with the
Oh.
Western Economic Pact starting up, will the Alberta 51st campaign gain any traction? Yes, they are gaining a lot of traction to the point where Saskatchewan is wanting to join.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't,
what about the Northwest Territory? Is there not enough people up there to make a difference?
There is,
Well-
they just don't care.
Oh,
But isn't Manitoba also a part of that initiative too, Suzanne? Or am I?
I hear stuff, but I don't know. BC,
Oh,
Alberta, Saskatchewan, yes.
Yeah.
But Manitoba, they're kind of on the fence.
Yeah, I think they are. Okay.
I don't hold much hope for BC either, actually, because we got David Eby, that far lefty, crazy NDP guy running the province, and
Yeah.
he is totally against pipelines coming through northern BC from Alberta. He doesn't want the Canadian economy to be a powerhouse. No. He wants to spend all his time handing out free drunks to addicts so they can shoot up on the streets and commit harry-carry, basically, right? Lead people to a lifetime of miserable addiction and crime. Like, that's our beloved premier. He's such a focused man, like, on bad stuff.
yeah.
And Manitoba is a welfare province, so
Yeah.
And
August, I'm not sure what you're going on here. The CIA, let's just say people who are skilled at hitting people, Maydan, Biden Jr., come on. I don't know what you're getting on with that. Okay, when Ukraine falls, what next? Poland? Or
please. We're not repeating World War II, JPs. Okay. Ukraine is not going to fall because they're going to come to some sort of compromise. Okay. Otherwise, they start
I don't think that everybody's like going, oh, he's going to go after Poland next time. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
Well, but isn't Poland's in NATO, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that really doesn't. But that doesn't matter because
No, it does matter. It does matter because if
Oh,
Putin must
no.
realize if he attacks Poland, he is attacking most of the Western world, including Western
Well,
Europe.
what
He's
he's
not.
doing is
Putin don't care.
no. What he's done
You,
is he's
you, know-
attacks the European Union. But
you know,
I mean, unless the Americans are dumb enough to
I
say,
don't.
well, hey, if you're
I
attacking
don't.
Poland,
I
we'll
don't.
go
I
after
don't
you.
think.
Then,
I
okay?
don't. I
Sure.
don't think. I don't think Putin's got any interest in Poland. The reason he's in Ukraine because there are sections of the eastern Ukraine that have a large Russian population, probably a majority of Russian speakers, and
Yeah.
there were areas of eastern Ukraine that once I think did belong to Russia, and I think that's what Putin wants back.
No.
What
So the
BBC
sooner they sit down like two mature adults at the table and hammer out a ceasefire, a peace treaty agreement, it would be better for all of them. And I hope they will do that one of these days.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
no,
but-
it's not that they're majority Russian. If you actually look at it, what happened is that in 2014 they ended the lease for the Sevastopol port, which is their only warm water deep warm water port. They're ending the lease. That's why they went into Crimea. And now, if you look at the battle lines, he moved in just enough to get a land bridge to Crimea there after they cut the water off, so that he can have an overland route to the Sevastopol port in Crimea. That's what he wants.
Yeah, I think that's
Right.
I think that's the key to all of it, really. And I just
But
don't know why they
forget,
just
Gorilla,
don't
that
settle it.
Yeah,
yeah, but
and,
don't forget,
and
Gorilla, that Ukraine is also a big oil country of itself. So
Well,
if he
not
can
really.
get any of that oil or any compensation from it to help his country, he'll do it. Putin can do that.
the Ukraine is an oil-rich country. I don't think they
It
are.
is.
I think they're a mineral-rich country only. They're not a oil-rich
Well,
country.
they're big into minerals. They're big into oil. What matters is that Putin wants an acquisition of said materials, and the only way that I think he can get that is to make a compromise with Ukraine, to where Ukraine says, "Hey, we want equal compensation for our materials that we provide."
Boomer.
So yeah, if they can do that,
Yeah.
that sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one last thing about this. Just hold on a second, Suzanne. Russia also wants a buffer state to have a breathing room that way they don't feel threatened. That's probably why Putin is after Ukraine to a certain extent. He wants a buffer state. He wants Ukraine and Belarus to be the primary buffer states between Russia itself and the Western Bloc. He wants those two as buffer states.
Yeah, go
Right.
ahead, Suzanne. Go ahead.
Boomer, can you send me that link, please?
Yeah. He says look up
With
Kelsey
Kelsey
Sherry for experience with the
Sherry.
Canadian military.
I have heard that about Putin though, that he does feel somewhat threatened by the NATO alliance on his doorstep, and I can understand why he does want a buffer between NATO and Russia. So I just basically think if Zelensky would give Putin a small part of eastern Ukraine to settle a peace deal and stop the damn war and all the loss of money, life, machinery, cities, I think they could probably hammer out some kind of deal they could both live by. At least that would be my hope, that they could do that, because any good leaders are going to work towards something that's going to save, stop the misery that their people are suffering under this war, right? Because how many Russians and Ukrainians have died? Like, I don't know how many. I don't have the numbers at hand, but too many.
Maybe
So-
I'm an asshole, but I'm on Putin's side. Zelensky's a fucking crook. He's not
Well,
even legit.
Zelensky loves to keep taking Western money to keep himself going.
He
And
sure does.
Now, how much of
Yeah.
that money actually goes to arm the troops?
Well-
I'm wondering, Suzanne?
Yeah. Well, Suzanne, I'll meet
Don't
you
worry
halfway.
about it.
They're both assholes.
There you go.
I like Putin. I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, and guys and young lady, think about it. When you just said that there was a buffer state, well, what do you think Poland is? Poland is the buffer state of Europe. basically. So if you're saying that Russia needs their own buffer state to be Ukraine, well, that's not too far gone then for the reason. Then that could be the other reason they want it so badly.
Yeah. Let's
That's right.
power through these chats here real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. I said human trafficking. And then Cynthia, what's this stuff you put in here?
Well, to sort of to tell Austin where they say it's illegal to talk about that event in German state in the 1940s. That's the legal code sections that I got for him to check out on a certain website that says it's illegal to talk about that, to not talk about that subject in Germany.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, free speech, hate speech, yes. Just to look that up. And yes, that was a collective guilt I was thinking of. We are shameful of World War II happening in Europe. Oh, we didn't start it, we just finished it.
Yeah.
And you are, I see. I'm not shameful World War II happened. It's not my bad. The winner writes the history, of course. Yeah, exactly. And they're still testing nuclear weapons around the world. Don't you know that they are polluting the earth with deadly? No. There's a test ban in place, so the two main actors aren't, but maybe some of the smaller actors are. We aren't guilty of tripping. Just show you that it was illegal denial event that happened to what past Germans did. The future generation after that one does not need to repeat their mistakes. Here says, August, I meant a more general collective guilt among many Western countries. That is why the colonial powers divided up the three states of Israel, Lebanon, and Transjordan. Whoa, what was it before transition?
Does he mean like Turkey and Jordan, maybe?
Yeah.
I gotta say, Transjordan takes on a whole new meaning these days.
Oh, yes, it does.
You know what the funny part is? I'm not trans at all.
Hey, and I'm not trans unless you call me the maple tree and I have syrup.
Yeah, let's see. Look at what the Brits did, or the Mongols have. They have statues of Genghis Khan in Mongolia. He's a hero there. And like they have statues of Stefano Bandera in the Ukraine. I don't know who that is.
Stefano Bandera in the Ukraine?
Yeah, I don't
well, he must have been one of the first fascist soldiers that fought in Ukraine during World War II or afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is my mistake. I don't think they need to repeat the mistakes of the past generations. Yeah, it's of course.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just want to mention one thing, Gorilla. I don't know why there's a majority of people that are really upset that we have such animosity towards countries that, one time they were our enemies and now they're our friends. Well, let's put it this way. If we didn't do what we did to retaliate after Pearl Harbor's attack, all of Western United States and most of the rest of the Pacific would be Japanese. Do you really want to be Japanese? I don't think so back then.
And hey there, Jim.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, and if you didn't do anything, just my last point. And if you didn't do anything back east, well, look at it this way. The Germans probably take over the East Coast, and then you got one side is Japanese, and the other is German. Yeah. Would you really want to divide a country like that? I don't think so. Yeah. So I don't think we need to really apologize for what we did, but we can decide not to threaten each other with nuclear weapons or any other kind of conventional weaponry, and just say, hey, let's reach a compromise and see if we can actually turn out peaceful. That's all I want. I just want worldwide peace. I know it's impossible, but I'm still praying for it. So,
trouble is Japan. With Japan in World War II, there was no peace to be had. I mean, Japan. I mean, they under the emperor, they were very fanatical. I mean, you don't send suicide pilots into ships. You don't send zero suicide pilots into the side of warships. U.S. warships if you're not fanatical, right? Like, come on.
Right.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I said, hey, the Jim, I'm trying to get down to your chats there. Booger said, face to face is always better, and air travel has made that easier. I'm just using video as one example. Yeah, we kind of figure what you're saying. They even used phosphor grenades in World War One. I read that them Junger's book.
Ernst
Stalin.
Younger's book in Stalin.
Ernest. Ernest Junger's book.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay. Now, see, most Americans are really nice people.
Oh,
My experience,
yes.
we shouldn't have fought them. Well, yeah,
Well,
probably wouldn't have gotten involved if the 1940s leader there, which YouTube doesn't like us saying his name for some reason, which I don't know how we're going to avoid it in season 5 of the Waltons there, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to make a disclaimer for that
Yeah.
he declared war on us.
Yeah. Well, he was bitter towards the what he called the Jewish masters that were running things back then in Germany. So
Yeah.
he got pissed off, and because he got caught in the Putz, which is a battle in a Munich beer hall, that's why he decided to write the book that he wrote. So
Yeah,
it was all built up. I mean, everything was built
Right.
up toward a purpose.
All right, so gorillas are so cool they can fight and beat up 99, and from what you hear, are strong. Yeah, exactly. Damn dirty apes.
Damn dirty apes.
August, Pat knew. Pat, yes, we said he fought against the wrong enemy, and he died in a car. Yeah, which I still got questions on that, but on a military base.
Conspiracy. Sure it is.
Yeah,
on a
Belgium road, I guess. No, he was in Germany at the time.
No, he was traveling to Germany.
Yeah, and Pickle says, "I am the Antichrist."
Yeah.
A military truck crashed into his car.
Right.
I still got questions on that.
So that's what LGG's program he's working is all about, taking over the world as the Antichrist.
Yeah.
So is Scotty R37.
Yeah.
But
I am the
last
bride
time I
of the
checked, the plane
Antichrist.
almost hit your ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go pick out your wedding dress then, Scotty.
Yeah, we want to see the pictures of the wedding dress.
Nice to Scotty.
Booker says Patton was assassinated. I'm not going to go that far, but I got questions.
There is some controversy, yes, but I wouldn't say that far. Yeah.
Yeah, Patton Tanks was famous. Yeah. Let's say August. There's a theory that it was the communists that ended Patton because he was a threat. Well, he's the one that said that. He's the one that said that since we got our armies attacked, we might as well march on Moscow.
Yeah,
our army's still intact.
Yeah.
And M8. It's got a good day. Good day. Good day. Good day. Grilka.
Or Killa.
No, I say Grilka.
Oh, Gorka. Okay.
Okay. Sci-fi, yes, I know. Or was it another interest group who unalived Patton? But the crash.
They took out Patton. Yeah.
Really. Question is that the theory of Patton's accident true or false? Yeah, we'll never know. But oh no, no, they knew how to make it look like an accident too. Yeah.
The eyes do that, August. We know that already.
Yeah. And Jim says, hello. Hello,
Hi, Jim.
Jim. Back then, it would have been the OSS.
Right.
Or did Hunter laptop really broke a laptop, tap on a backyard computer repair shop, couldn't afford a new one? Well, here's the here's the thing. When you're cracked out, that doesn't surprise you that happened when you're cracked out. Aha, nice thought, Train's here.
Yeah.
And they're saying, hi, this will really help me catch up here.
Yeah.
Peeps at home. Randy Rhoads was a great American musician. Man, you guys' younger culture is great. I never heard of Randy Rhoads, but
Randy Rhoads. Oh, he's
Randy
one of those.
Rhoads.
He's a legend. Wasn't he the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne?
Yes.
And he died in that tragic helicopter crash, did he not?
That was Diamond. Wasn't he known as Diamond? No, that was somebody else I was thinking of.
Diamond Dave was the singer in Van Halen in the early albums.
No. That's not David Lee Roth. That was Diamond Dave. There was another Diamond Dave.
Oh, there was
a heavy metal group.
Roth was called Diamond Dave back then, though.
Yes, he was.
I remember because I was there. I was buying the albums back then.
Yeah. And let's see. I heard
Diamond Dave was cool.
Yeah, and Sky says I heard they were mineral rich. I'm assuming he's talking about Ukraine. Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
he
have
is.
some. They do have a lot more that we're working on a deal with them. No blues
Well,
rock without slavery there.
Slavery.
Yeah.
well,
Uh,
they got all that. They got all that Ukrainian in the ground, right? So
Yeah. And let's see. There's a reasonable argument against NATO considering they promised an immovable distance. Huh?
No, that's just they just proved that they can't stay out of a fight. So they
well, I
feel
mean,
like they need to be in
wasn't there
the middle of it. So
wasn't there states like Finland that they brought into NATO like 6 months ago or something?
Well,
Finland, Sweden.
well, do
Okay.
you remember? Do you remember when those, the Russian states like Finland, like Ukraine, all of them were starting to separate from Russia itself? That's when they had NATO peacekeepers that came in and said, "Hey, we're giving them their independent right to separate from Russia instead of being the United Soviet Socialist republics. Now they're going to be free republics, and they want to
Yeah.
be part of the growing European Union." So, yeah.
Hey,
Daniel,
Hey.
you can answer this one.
hey,
Daniel.
Jeez.
Daniel, are you there? Because I can address you right now on this.
I
Daniel.
told you already, Daniel. You got this.
I'll come back
Okay.
to him on this. I'm starting it. I'll come back to it on.
I just want to tell Daniel, have a shower, put on your best clothes, dress up snazzy like a sharp dressed man. Get some flowers and boxes of candy, and make sure and make sure you buy some rubbers beforehand. You're gonna need those.
Hell no.
He's not there.
Just
sitting-
be yourself.
Spin a guitar, he would be a sharp dressed man.
Yeah. He's
Hey,
not
I
there.
gotta say, he could be very less nervous after that day if he takes my advice.
All right, he's not there right now. We'll come back to him on that one. Ukraine
Okay.
is the main center of human trafficking worldwide, even before the war. Nah, I'm pretty sure the cartels had him outmatched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure some of those African countries were pretty good at that too, are they not, through history?
Yeah. Now,
Yes, most
Ukraine
African
is the center of money laundering and extortion and embezzlement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
That's
wanna
what
hear
you call
about-
Russia is their mafia, the Russian
Yeah.
mafia.
You
Yeah.
want to hear about money laundering? I think about 30 years ago in Vancouver, the casino scandal. Apparently, a lot of the Chinese, because that was around the time that Hong Kong was being handed back over to the commies. There was a lot of money coming into the casinos in the British Columbia casinos that was being laundered money that way, right?
Yeah.
And that was a big scandal.
Well, I did a little dabbing in money laundering there. Now I just make sure I check my pockets.
No, that's inadvertent money laundering when you take that 10 out. You don't put that 10 on your wallet.
Yeah. Let's see.
Your change, that's a real bitch.
Yeah.
It's the change that you find and you realize it was rattling around in the dryer and you're like,
Let's see.
yeah.
Between Russia and their tense partners, Canada's pretty good at shipping people. Yeah.
How about
And-
shipping you
and
out?
try to
buddy?
find a primary link for her. She's been all over the place. She's had a lot of battles with your version of the VA. Oh, she doesn't have a direct YouTube channel? That's kind of surprising me. And Sky says we're working on it. I agree with the guy's bottom left. That guy bottom left.
That would be a woman.
Yeah, that's Suzanne there, August.
Unless he's talking Civ
Yeah,
down below me.
Well, the problem is I don't have the names up there when chats are up.
Oh
so-
yeah, there he goes. Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go.
Well, look
Yeah,
how many times
one-
Mikey is called Owen Hadley.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, August.
Yeah. Putin isn't against the U.S. Here you go. He found it for you, Suzanne.
Thanks, Boomer.
Daniel,
Did you pass my comment already? Sorry, I had to go
Daniel, just be yourself, be cool, find out what they're in, ask them what they're interested in, and just roll with it. Wear your nice shirts there. Make sure you wear deodorant there. you're all good. Just be yourself.
I told
And
you that, didn't I?
act like you're even
Yeah.
if you're not interested in their stuff. Act like you're interested in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Ask them
and
questions. If you're nervous, just ask
And-
them a general question and let them do the talking.
yeah,
And don't
Daniel.
forget to show off Coco. Coco is
Yeah,
a big
and-
asset.
Yeah, and Daniel, and make sure you're fast enough to put on the rubber so you don't end up a
Okay,
father
sit down.
unless you do want to be a father.
Okay, I was trying to give some great general advice. Then
Yeah, Dan, don't turn him into a porn king, okay?
don't turn them into me.
Exactly. I was kind of worried about that.
Oh my God, you're a porn
Not
gorilla.
become gorilla.
Oh, yeah.
Do not become
Yeah.
him.
That
No,
makes total sense, Gorilla. Oh,
I
God.
would, if I'm going to give practical advice, I just say listen to what they have to say, ask them questions, basic stuff like what are you into, what are your interests, just general shit like that. That's where. Hey, when I met my early girlfriends, that's how it started. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Like we didn't know each other from a fence post, when I first met them, and we just started chatting, and then it just led to everything else after that, right? So
Yeah,
it's
and
just
that's how Suzanne and I. That's how my Suzanne and I found each other.
Okay.
Daniel, is because we found common interests. We found what we both enjoyed, what our weaknesses were, what our strengths were. Just find common ground, dude. I mean, seriously. And like I said, bring Coco with you. If they like dogs, they'll know right away. That you're a good person. You take care of Coco. So I would use Coco for sure. Yeah.
Boomer,
yo, I'm here.
What are you into?
What am I? That's a loaded question. What am I into? Gosh, that's such a broad question.
We're not going to even answer what he's into because we'll let him do it.
Hey, I'm already demonetized, so go for it.
He's on stage.
That's a question on so many levels. I don't really know how to concisely answer it, and I don't want to hog the chat for too many minutes. Gosh, well, obviously I'm into hanging out with you guys because I'm into a stimulating conversation. I like talking about world events and current politics, of course. I'm into history. I like to learn about factual stuff as far as I can find them, because in our world, there's, what I've noticed on YouTube, there's so many channels that, one channel will say this, the other channel will say the exact opposite, and there's a dozen other channels that are all fighting against each other, saying crazy shit. So I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, man, it's really hard to know what the truth is anymore. It's really difficult. You just got you got to find a reliable source. Like I think 2C TV is pretty reliable because he does have some he's got inside people in Iran, which makes a big difference. What else am I into? Well, I love classic rock. I love old movies in particular. I love vintage TV shows. I love art because I do have my bachelor's degree in fine arts for 4 years of studying at the university. So I really love art. I love architecture. I wish I could make it over to Europe and see all those Colosseums and all that great shit. I'm getting to the age now, though, I don't know whether that dream is ever going to come true because I got to keep working just to pay the rent. So, but I have so many interests. I could go on probably for hours if I went into detail about all the things I enjoy thinking about, right, Suzanne? So, anyway, I'll try and keep it brief there.
Well, PvP, if you want to talk more with Suzanne, why not ask her the most obvious question? Suzanne, can I have your number? Ask her that.
He's got it.
Yeah,
I
got so many things going on in life here right now that I'm not even thinking about relationships right now, to be honest. I know Suzanne probably understands that at this point because we have had private discussions off YouTube. I just got so much going on in my life, and I got so many things I'm working on. There's so much stuff I need to get in order and clean up my act and get organized because I'm very disorganized a lot of the time.
PvP, all I'm going to say is leave yourself a little bit of room for the possibilities are infinite. And you and Suzanne are very good people, and I respect both of you. I really do, and so does my Suzanne. I really think
we'll
that
be
there's
friends.
a possibility of a very good relationship there, and you guys have already started it. I mean, you've got some common interests. You share, talking to each other on the phone rather than which is better, primitive way to talk to people on a phone rather than, over the internet, which seems kind of silly and
We'll
obtuse.
be friends for a long time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking with Suzanne, but I think at this level it's just going to be friendship stage. For now.
Absolutely.
It took us 6 years.
I'm very happy with that. Like the thing is,
Yeah.
like we're so many thousands of miles apart too, and with the current situation in Canada, I don't know if Saskatchewan might be part of the U.S. in a year. I mean, I don't know what's going on, right? It's so crazy.
Yeah, please,
Hey, guys,
PvP,
I want-
don't use mileage because I'm sorry, girl. I just want to finish this quick.
That's a reality,
don't use
though.
mileage as an excuse because Suzanne and I, before we met each other, we were over 3,000 miles a piece from each other, and here I am now sitting here living in the same place as she is, and I'm in a different country. There are so many possibilities, PvP. Don't leave yourself blind to them, okay? Try to embrace them. And I'm asking Suzanne to do the same thing. That's all.
Mikey, that's all sweet and grand. PvP and I will be friends for many, many years. However,
I know.
Not now and not later am I interested in any type of romantic relationship with anybody. It has nothing to do with PvP. It's me.
Oh.
At my age, I'm done.
Well, the thing is,
I'm quite content being alone.
The thing is, after turning 67 last month and being single for a long time,
Exactly.
I realized that I'm very happy. You know what? Great thing about being single, I wake up in the morning, and if it's a work day, I go to my computer and start working. And on my days off, I wake up and I go make put the kettle on and make some tea or whatever the hell, and just do whatever I'm going to do that day. And I don't have to, cater to anybody else's interests. I don't have to. Nobody else is going to tell me what, boss me around or tell me I got to do this, that, and a long list of things I got to do. And I like that. I'm trying to say I'm very set in my ways, and I don't mind that because I know and also like my privacy. I do like my privacy. I'm quite a private person, believe it or not. I know you wouldn't believe it on here when I'm yakking my face off, but I am a pretty private person.
Hey guys.
No, Suzanne and the PvP, I eternally apologize if you thought I suggested anything romantic. I know you two are both very close platonic friends, so I hope you can continue to keep that relationship.
I enjoy Suzanne's conversations. I definitely do.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm starting to feel some acid reflux coming on, so I want to catch up on chats and then start promoting everybody here.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Hey, girl, you should get some of those anti-reflux pills like I take. They work miracles.
Yeah,
buddy.
I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not spending $300 to go to the doctor.
That's crazy.
Yeah, gee, that's because I don't reach my out-of-pocket deductible.
Man,
I don't go to the doctor.
That's insane. Like I go to my doctor. I have a great doctor.
I'm fine. I just got to drink some water there, get some more food in my stomach, then I'll be fine. And so Boomer says, geez, you keep getting interrupted by adverts. I'll change that next live stream. I just set it to I just turned the monetization on and then left it that. I'll have to change some other settings. Bottom left, you mean right. I think he's talking about sit down, actually. Yes. Mikey, it's common interest between enemies turned allies.
Yes, okay. It's common interest. That's what I'm trying to
get. And Mikey, same goes for nations that are interest aligned with either the go to war or the form alliance to join forces. Yeah, exactly.
That's usually what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm still convinced it wasn't exactly like they told us. Also about ancient times, and so history wasn't like they tell us. I'm pretty sure. Well, they say history is written by the victors, so we can write it however the hell we want.
The only way I would assume I knew something about ancient history would be if I was actually there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, it's all hearsay. I don't care who's writing about it.
Yeah.
Or be Indiana Jones PvP and Dial of Destiny. You go backwards in time.
Yeah. And see, yes, from Ozzy, plane crash. You guys here know much more than the average American, supposedly. Well, that's because this is the stuff I listen to every day, and so I talk about stuff I know about. And you've heard me quite a few times tonight say, I don't know nothing about it, just so the next, because I don't want to sit there and act like I know what I'm talking about when I don't.
Well, I think the sign of an intelligent person was when they realize they don't know something.
Yeah. We got 4 Canadians on the panel tonight, August. PvP, Mikey, Suzanne, and Daniels. And PvP has a good opinion here too, and is a critical thinking as well. Good random knowledge seems to be much younger generations don't have that money anymore. Well, we have right here on the epitome of human knowledge right here, but yet people don't use it.
What was that epitome? I didn't see that
epitome of human knowledge right here.
What the hell is that?
A cell phone.
It's my phone.
Oh.
It's official. Welcome to Gorilla Dating Service.
I tried owning a cell phone and I gave up because I could never figure out how to use the damn thing.
Yeah. It says it's official. Welcome to Gorilla's Dating Service. And we're the only people in human history who will have the experience, the analog and the digital time. What's analog?
Yes. Analog is something before digital.
Okay, analog was when you had a turntable and you had vinyl records, and the vinyl records of your favorite band, there'd be an entire A side and a B side, and your entire favorite band would record like a 45-minute album. It'd be broken up to 22 minutes on each side, and you'd put it on the turntable and you drop the tone arm with the needle into the groove on the vinyl. It's an LP. Does that clarify it?
How about radio?
And then the tone arm cartridge with the little needle would scour the grooves in your vinyl record and play the music for you, analog style, out of your speakers.
And you had alarm clocks that woke you up, and you had to shut them off by pounding on them.
Analog records were pretty awesome, actually, because you know what I liked about analog? You had to listen to the entire damn album. It's none of this take one song, pick it here, and pick one song there. You got to listen to the entire album.
Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Daniel said, I was talking to my friend Ryan today. He took me to Fergus for a bite to eat at McDonald's. Well, there's your problem. You ate at McDonald's. I got a double Big Mac meal. And there's your second problem. You ate a Big Mac. Anyway, we got to the time of AI on the way home, and he told me, you can't just stop. He told me that the future of the government will create AI, and they will inject a microchip to the arm and our heads, and will extend human life and make us much smarter. That's AI. Well, that would be the what do they call it, the metaverse. I think they're already working on it with the Elon Musk is already working on getting chips in your head. They're doing it for medical reasons. With Bill Gates.
The primary people like Zuckerberg, Gates, and Musk are all working on this technology.
That's really scary because I don't want no government putting no chip in my head, because if they put a chip in your head, there's going to be that button they can push where your head explodes, right?
Oh yeah, like scanners, except with
if you're not thinking, it's 1984. If you're not thinking good boy George Orwell thoughts about how great and wonderful and perfect the government is, they will eliminate you.
Exactly.
It's scary because it sounds like well, I don't want to even say it, but it sounds scary.
It's communism, basically.
Let's see. Hoover says he can relate to being done. Grill also a really cool guy. Thank you, August.
Oh, by the way,
Mark, I'm a piece of crap, huh?
Our Prime Minister Mark Carney actually wants to get rid of cash money. He wants to have a total digital currency in Canada. I don't want a digital currency because if I'm going to go down to the porno shop and buy some hardcore porn, I don't want Mark Carney knowing that I'm buying it, right? Okay, Mark. So keep your hands off of my currency.
All right, just have a good night there, Booger.
Good night,
you just showed your age there by thinking you have to go out of the house to get some porn.
No, we still have a, believe it or not, we still have a porno store in town here.
Yikes.
I've never gone there because, as you say, there's no need to with the internet. But
yeah, I'm guessing the only reason it's still open is I'm guessing they got the booth in the back.
I'm guessing they got all the toys. Is what I'm guessing.
Well, the booth in the back where there's a wall in between you and another person. Let's just put it that way. Let's keep it YouTube advertiser friendly on that one. Let's see. I got scared because it sounds like a certain prophecy that creeps me out. Something injected in the arm, the mark of the hand, and in the head. I don't want to even think about it. You're thinking of the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
Sounds like the mark of the beast.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
So
what I
you
was
told me the
thinking.
same thing that pop culture curator told me.
Pop is in heaven right now. So
No, you remember what Pop told me?
What
You remember what Pop told me?
You want to
refresh? He said, like, I was talking to Ryan today. I'm like, this is exactly what the Christians are talking about, and it's scary. He told me the same thing Pop told me. He said, oh, don't listen to Christians, Daniel. Christians are stupid.
Well, then he's stupid, and you shouldn't talk to him anymore.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion there. Yeah, Mike.
Opinions are one thing.
I'm just wondering who told Daniel. Was this person not a Christian? Then I don't know what their faith is.
Well, then he was either agnostic or an atheist. That's all that can make sense on that one.
Well, I used to be an atheist, but I've become far more religious in recent years.
Yeah,
good.
Because I've started to realize that there's a lot of truth in it, and I think I'm very close to converting to Christian. Well, I was baptized, so I'm technically a Christian, and I'm very close to embracing all Christian beliefs at this point. I'm getting very close.
Yeah,
Mikey, you're a preacher, aren't you?
Go ahead, Suzanne.
You're a preacher, aren't you? A minister?
My wife is.
Oh, I thought you were too. Okay.
No, not me.
Right.
No.
Right.
My wife is.
So, August said, "Good point, girls. Vinyls were good for frisbees.
Vinyl records. Vinyl sounded great. If you had a good stereo with great speakers, vinyl would kick ass.
Yeah. Let's see. There needs to be ancient times. Well, I guess PvP was there since he was the ancient NQ of the clip.
NQ the clip.
Oh, wait.
Gently extend your arm. Extend your middle finger. Very good.
There you go, PvP.
Thank you, Gro. Every time I see that clip, you know what my favorite part is? It's the last bit with the trucker's eyes going wide-eyed. I love that. That is awesomely funny.
The internet was the hugest game changer ever. I mean, more and more important than the invention of the book printing, in my opinion. Oh yeah, because now
I would argue they were kind of both equal in their own ways.
Hey, the internet has given the ability of every dumbass and asshole to give his opinion online.
That's one problem, though. What I liked about when the Gutenberg Bible was printed and printing was invented was it was such a limited edition of books, very limited. Basically, it was only the ruling elites, maybe the kings and queens and the religious, the upper religious echelons would have those books in their libraries. We didn't have mass printing of books back then. So it was like the knowledge was only kept to a group in upper society. Now with the internet, the difference between publishing books originally and the internet origins are now the internet is for there could be billions of people on here every day, and they could be talking everything from good, sensible stuff to total crazy batshit stuff, right? And that's the difference.
Yeah. Now let's see. August says, "Purporting the internet is great, of course." Oh, that's because one out of every 4 searches is for that. And demonetized. Glory holes. Demonetized. Like the home video was pushed by
pornography the most back then.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's probably still the biggest.
But also
I had a feeling you were an agnostic, August. But also baptized.
Yeah. The only reason
you
people find religion again is the fear of death in the hereafter.
or
is-
extreme, yeah,
oh,
or extreme
oh,
events,
okay.
JP, extraordinary events that cause
Okay.
you to
I
rethink.
actually resent that comment. You're saying the only reason I'm moving towards understanding religion and examining it more at a deeper level is because I'm fearful of death. That's insulting, man. That's very insulting.
It's very insulting, JP's. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, just
But hey,
That basically makes my interest in rediscovering my religious faith as a superficial thing based on fear, and I don't like that. I don't agree with that. Sorry, but I don't.
and thanks to Old Man Bird, he gave
just
you a
say-
1999.
We've been stopping, being Eugene Bird, you're the king. Super chats making our cigars sing. Lighting the lounge, keep it free. You're the sugar daddy of Gorilla. Thank you, Eugene. You're the best, better than all the rest. With every puff, we raise a cheer. Eugene Bird, our hero here.
Thanks, Eugene.
And thank you, Eugene
Yeah.
Bird, for
Eugene.
that there, and he gave us a dancing pair that says you are amazing. Well, thank you very much for that,
Yeah,
Eugene.
he gave Gorilla some spending money for lunches during the rest of the week.
It's about the cigars for the week, and
And
we did have a poll in the chat there, so I'm gonna go. Oops, wrong button. We're
Yeah,
gonna go
me
ahead and
too.
share. Oh nope, I don't have an extra camera. Oh, I see
Yeah.
where I was.
Well, Old Man Bird, Gorilla, you're caught up on the chat, but he said that he likes your Gorilla's T-shirt. So,
Hey,
Yeah.
I just put in the public because it's I don't think it'll hurt anything. I put in the public a song for Bird because he's such a great contributor to your stream.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's
a song off the Ramones' third album. It's called Surfin' Bird.
All right. So out of 16 votes, 56% of the people do not want to hear me reading Star Trek Destiny chapter by chapter.
I do.
You do?
I said yes.
Well, you're the 43% kind there, Daniels.
But that book series is pretty good, I hear.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I want to listen to a book reading, I can find it on YouTube and listen to that, right?
Yeah, but Star Trek Destiny does not have a free audio version.
An audio
anywhere.
book, right? It doesn't have an audio.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
So it's 50-50 then now.
Is that what you're saying? 50-50?
Yeah.
On PvP, just to go over Jay's comment about
sorry.
About religion. You may disagree with his opinion, but he does have a point to a certain extent. He does have a point.
Yeah. All right. So what August here says Surfing Bird itself is a song for the Vietnam War, I think. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
but
Bird seemed to enjoy it because he went wow after I posted it.
Surfing Bird.
Hey, that's what I gotta post. I don't think I posted those first three Ramones albums. I might have, but I can't remember now. Those first three Ramones albums are some of the greatest records ever recorded.
But I gotta wrap this up here or get some stuff on there. So thank you August for coming, and thank you Old Man Bird for coming. He has a few videos on his channel there of some cover songs. He can play guitar, so make sure to check him out. Thank you very much for that super chat. That's very generous of you. And thank you JP's Tabernacle for coming.
Ooh.
And thank you Booger414 for coming. Mike, you want to promote him while I'm scrolling?
Yeah, Booger414 and his wonderful wife Christine are both cosplayers, and I believe even though Booger may not have some content up there yet, he is a very huge supporter of all of our channels. So please, at least give him the chance to continue the support and send subs his way. He and his wife need the subs. So yeah.
Gorilla, thanks for having me on panel. Thanks everybody for being on panel with me. And I hope everybody has a great night.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, definitely.
You got anything you want to promote?
Yeah, go ahead, Suzanne.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And thank you, Scotty R37 for coming. Are you still doing the Phantasm? Yeah, Scotty, are you still doing the Phantasmagorium channel there?
Show.
But
I think he still is Gorilla. I still see that it exists.
Okay, do you want to put in? Well, yeah, because I don't know how to spell it or nothing. Thank you, Jim's Landscaping LLC, #1 Commodore Productions for coming. He does Star Trek fan films. He does live streams. He does his puppy videos. He does an occasional lawn mowing video. So make sure to check him out there. And thank you, LDG # Free the Net for coming. He has the underground. If you ever need IT help or need a place to hang out, there's always freethenet.org/underground. So make sure to check him out. And thank you,
and
Rebel
don't ask
Dust.
me about Prometheus because he's still working on it.
Oh, hey, Moira, I'll get back down to your chat here in just a minute.
Hi, Moira. Meow.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
meow.
at, yeah, I'm gonna double check here to see if I can get see if Rebel Duster has anything on me. So it looks like
who's chat? Is he chatting through mine or yours, Gorilla?
Rebel Duster, he might be chatting through yours, Dan.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rebel Duster, for coming.
Every time I hear the name Rebel Duster, I think of a maid with a really bad attitude.
Yeah. And while I'm scrolling, sit there and promote yourself here.
Promote yourself, Dan.
All righty, to all my fellow panel members and community members that know me or don't know me, I'm Sci-Fi Sit Down. You should cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. I'm planning to restart my Dark Matter watch parties this coming Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific time with my fellow co-host, and I do my weekend live streams on Saturdays between 2 and 4 p.m. Pacific time, and I do cross streams with my fellow community members like Gorillas Cigar Thoughts and Resolute Germ if they will allow it. They usually do the nice guys about that. And I try to upload on my main channel at the end of the previous week, at the beginning of next week. I do have a secondary channel called Old World Sorcerer Dan. On that one, I cover Japanese anime or cartoons in general. And currently, we're doing the slime animation. It's a adult cartoon with adult themes. If you like that, check out that animation. I do my watch parties on my secondary channel on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time after Gorilla's Walton streams usually, unless he decides to not do Waltons a few weeks in a row that I may reschedule it, but usually it's at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And that's about it on my two channels and promotions. I'll turn it over to Danny's Hot Topics to give his own little self-promotion, then on to Suzanne afterwards.
Yeah. Well, and here I want to catch the chats here. Morgan's giving us the meow. She's saying meow. I want to be sedated. PvP. Good night, all. Have a good night there, Olimber.
Good night.
Almost another great American legacy. True. And thank you guys here too. Good entertainment, positive vibes, although the hard times. Yeah, you're welcome here anytime there.
Thanks,
Margaret
August.
saying meow to everybody. And I just gave you a wrench, Margaret, if you want to put your channel in there. I've known you long enough to trust you. And thank you, Cam, for coming. I don't think he does anything on his channel. The last I checked it there, I don't think he did much on his channel.
I don't think he has a lot on there, Cam Crash Course. I think he's like Booger 414. They do a lot of support for the channels. So
yeah. And thank you, Scurvy, for coming. You've been awfully quiet in the chat here last hour.
Yeah, is he okay?
Yeah.
And
thank you, FKHC 2005 for coming. He has a couple videos on his channel, so make sure to check him out there. So Daniel, what do you got going on?
You're on mute there, Daniel.
Nothing much going on.
All right.
And Moyer says, I think Duster about like a coot.
Like a coat.
All right, Mikey, what you got going on?
Well, a lot going on. I had to move up my Get Smart reviews to in about half an hour from now, around 12:15 a.m. because tomorrow the Toronto Housing Commission, in its wonderful glory, has decided to take away our electricity and our water for 9 hours. So
Oh,
we're all
no.
going to be suffering tomorrow. Yeah. And they're
I was
in
just
their
on holiday
equivalent
yesterday.
wisdom.
You
Yeah.
got a big jug you can fill like 9 hours worth of water in there, Mikey?
Yeah, we've got enough. We got enough drinks and things filled up. So yeah, don't
Okay,
worry about
get
Wait,
some water.
wait,
Get some
wait.
water buckets.
I
then.
got a
Yeah.
question though.
Yeah.
Whose brilliant idea was it to cut off electricity during well, I'm not sure what you're equivalent to a extreme heat warning.
We're in a heat wave. Yeah, we're in a
Yeah,
big
well,
heat
well,
wave in
aren't you guys in the
Tampa.
extreme heat warning?
Yeah,
For the equivalent there. So whose
yeah.
brilliant idea is it to work on the electricity then?
Well, if
I
I
have a-
find that person, I'll run them underneath an airplane wheel over
Yeah.
in
I have a,
Mississippi.
I have a question for Gorilla. Why do you think anybody running anything in this country is brilliant anymore?
Good
Yeah.
point.
Because they're morons. They're all morons. That's why they're doing this. Because they, the big people on top never think about us little people on the bottom because we don't matter, right?
Yeah, the time would do it is when it's like today when it's like 70 degrees.
Well,
But-
when they do it here, if they're smart, they'll do it like at midnight for like 9 hours when you're sleeping, right?
Well, no, because they'll turn you off your alarm clock.
Yeah.
But
Really,
anyhow,
maybe that-
what do you got going on PvP?
But no, I didn't finish Gorilla, but that's okay.
sorry.
What
No,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say
Go
was-
ahead.
Go.
Yeah, I am. So anyway, in half an hour, and then Thursday I'm still doing my 18 reviews at the same time I do it at noontime. I'll be there for you, Gorilla, on Terminator, Sarah Connor on Thursday, Walton's for sure on Friday. But I did want to say quickly, Saturdays and Sundays right now are on hiatus because apparently the building is doing other forms of construction, and it's just going to be too disturbing and interruptive of things that we do on the weekends. So for now, just nothing else going on. But Monday through Thursday will always be there for us here at Mikey Sue's Floor. So
All right.
that's all I have to
All
say.
right.
Sorry.
Thank you. PvP,
Yeah.
what you got going on?
Well, I'm going to have to upload the second and third Ramones albums now sometime the next week, I realize, because I only have the first one on there. So those other two are classics, pretty much perfect from beginning to end, some of the best albums ever made. And I can relate to what Mikey's going through because they're actually coming here at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning to spray the building for ants. So they're going to spray the outside of the building. They're going to spray the lobby. They're going to spray the common rooms, the hallways, the like I guess the room where they got like the boilers and all the service rooms. I guess they had on the post, and they're going to do all the hallways. I imagine they'll be spraying that crap on the rug out here at sometime after 10. And it must be pretty strong shit, right? Because it listed the name of the chemical, which I didn't bother to write down because I figure, well, they're gonna do it anyway. So what can I do? So they have that on the notice though. Do not go out of your apartment for the 2 or 3 hours after the spraying, or until it is dry. So I stocked up on my necessary supplies. And I'm not planning on going out now till Thursday night, so I am good for the next couple of days. But the weird thing is, I've never seen one single ant in the hallways or the elevator or anywhere. The only time I killed a couple ants was in my apartment here, but that's very rare. Like I think I've killed 10 years I've been here. I think I've killed 4 ants crawling around. It's like it's ridiculous. I don't get it. It's very ridiculous, really. So.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gorilla.
So, as for me, I'm not sure if I'll do anything tomorrow yet, but Thursday, we'll have 2 more episodes of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Friday, we'll have the Walton stream. Then Sunday, we'll have another mystery movie night. And everybody enjoyed the last one there. Into the storm where everybody gets hit by tornadoes. So then our cigar launch next week, which we'll be doing the one for Be Yourself Adventures. There.
Yes.
On Canada Day. On Canada Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No less. Yeah.
So with that, everybody have a good night, and remember.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
We've been stopping, being through the night, rising like gorillas, ready for the fight. Sending out a thank you, every shot and cheer. Your love fuels our fire.